Hello and welcome to the show that answers the question why we need it arrested, ladies, men and gentlemen, and NBs. Today we are talking about two most litigious organizations. So let's be very careful. Let's just blast off. So this is kind of funny, but this is kind of real funny. When the Prime Minister is currently in Israel and he's talking shit as usual. So if we go here, like he's saying, like I was born in the same day when Israel was recognized. So Kumbhakaran is literally posting like Nehru waiting for Modi's birth to recognize Israel as a nation. Jesus. I generally can't with this. It's just so fucking funny. Like he goes there and he's like, oh, Israel is like the fatherland. What the fuck? This is next level stupid funny, by the way. Next level stupid funny. Where is this? Hold on. I need that fatherland. And Sneeko kind of destroys him. Like Sneeko is fucking shitting on Modi again. Not again, but fine.
They hold firmly that Israel is their fatherland and India their motherland.
That glaze is crazy.
Oh. Why is Israel the fatherland? I fucking swear. Like, props to Sneeko, goddamn. Like, he found it, but...
Oh my god. Israel is the age that you're getting fucked by Netanyahu.
He's dancing on Netanyahu as far as I know.
You said in elegant Indian words that you are Netanyahu's bitch. Literally.
Yeah, we knew that already, to be honest with you. We have the Epstein files. We did the whole thing. This guy just goes on dancing for Israel. Anyway, the thing that... so let's just start with a standard introduction from Faye, as we sometimes do. Faye is good for introductions, to be honest. She speaks to the basic centrist crowd. I don't know how many of you are here, but fuck off if you are here.
Okay, our Prime Minister is...
Yeah, so the thing that happened is like... he's saying shit. We'll go through all of it. Like, I have to like start captions just to understand Modi's English. I am very sure he does not speak English at all.
In Israel on an official visit, and there's a lot going on with this visit which we're going to unpack, because global politics and diplomacy is fast becoming my favorite subject to deal with on this particular topic, on this particular show with you. Remember, Israel right now is under tremendous global scrutiny because of its handling of Gaza, the human rights violations, the civilian casualties, the humanitarian access that was blocked. Now there's conversation about what it's doing in the West Bank that's against international law. And of course, let's not forget Donald Trump's ambitious plan to turn Gaza into some kind of real estate promised land, pun intended. At the same time, globally, countries are being pushed to pick sides. Are you pro-Israel? Are you pro-Palestine? What's going on?
You should be pro-Palestine, just to be clear. Any country worth their salt is pro-Palestine. Any country that is not is just sucking up to Israel. That is what it is. Like, not even joking. Sucking up to Israel just means a free pass to whatever America wants. Like, you can get whatever from America if you suck up to Israel, except probably India.
Going on. Now, it's against that backdrop that the Indian Prime Minister is making his second visit to Israel. And, it's being seen as a political signal by both Israel's critics and its allies. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about what's at stake for India, how Narendra Modi's personal role in shaping the relationship between India and Israel in the last several years, India's position on Gaza and Palestine, the criticism that India has received about this visit. And finally, I'll also give you a backdrop of what our relationship has been with Israel since 1947 to where it is today. So before I get to it though, remember, like, share, subscribe, sign up.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe to this as well. Thank you very much.
For our membership, leave us a comment in the comment section. On this particular issue though, there are pros and cons on every side, and I'm really interested to know what you think, because I think it's a very, very interesting question to be placed before you. Okay. So our Prime Minister is on his second visit, and this is a high-level.
So there is some amendment here. Like Congress has never visited Israel. Congress was always steadfast on the fact that Israel is a terrorist country. On the other hand, is the BJP and the right-wing government have consistently visited Israel. If I remember correctly, the whole idea that we need to be friends with Israel, to be friends with America, has been a right-wing motion. I can't really tell you that, hey, what was good or what was bad a few years ago, but Israel has been committing a genocide for a very long time. It has been an oppressive state, and our love, especially the right-wing love towards the Israeli genocidal force, is really bad. It's a really bad look. India, again, was the first country to say that Palestine should be free. It was the first country to recognize Palestine. Mahatma Gandhi said himself that for a country of ours with 200 years of British colonial rule, we cannot support a country that was made by forcing upon a group of basically white people onto Arabs. Because again, Israel was made by forcing people out of their own land, like Indians were forced out of their own land when some Babus wanted to take control of it. You have to understand that. That is extremely important to remember. The story of Israel and Palestine and the story of India and the British is very similar. This is colonization. This is colonial rule. Never forget.
Visit with meetings focused on defense cooperation, technology partnerships, trade, and regional security. Now, let's take a look at how both sides, the media has covered it. Israeli media is thrilled. They are calling this a strategically important visit because, of course, it comes at a time when Israel is being criticized globally. And several Israeli news
Again, Israel is not being criticized, it's being obliterated.
Papers have highlighted India is, and I'm quoting here, a reliable long-term partner that has not withdrawn engagement at a time when Israel was diplomatically isolated. Now, you'll remember over the last couple of years, Israel has been pulled up in the United Nations, in international courts. There are countries that actually have warrants out for Netanyahu personally as a war criminal.
So every country that has signed the international judicial review, the international law, has signed the declaration, has Netanyahu as a person that needs to be arrested immediately and transported to The Hague because he's an international criminal. The only countries that have not signed it, Israel and America, are the ones that do not abide by it. The International Criminal Court wants Netanyahu to stand trial for his crimes. And time like this, India supporting Israel is a very bad look. It is shameful.
At this time, this visit actually bolsters a friendship that most other countries are not willing to give Israel. Indian media has talked about defense, security cooperation, joint technology, trade expansion, and the symbolism of this visit. Very importantly, this is not a low-profile, quiet thing. This is not a conversation on the sidelines of a bigger event. This is a diplomatic visit, deliberate, choreographed, visible. It's drawing attention on purpose. Now, I have to give you some perspective, though. This is not the Prime Minister's first visit to Israel. Back in 2017, he became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Israel ever. And that was when the relationship changed gears. Because until then, India had strong relationships with Israel, but we kept them out of the public view. So, forgive the analogy for the purists. I mean, you could say at that point, till that point, India and Israel had a bit of a situationship where basically there was a relationship that we didn't talk about in public. We were working together, but it was not something we came out and showed the world because publicly we had other voices that we had to also cater to, and I'll get into that detail a little further down in the video. It's not a situationship anymore because in 2017, Narendra Modi made it a public relationship. And you'll remember this photograph of the two of them with their trousers rolled up walking down the beach. This became sort of a marquee photograph of where this relationship is headed and how close these two countries are. Since then, we've had defense cooperation. Israel became one of India's top three defense suppliers.
Through America and within the Modi regime, not before. Although there is something to talk about Kashmir, because Kashmir, for people who do not know, is managed the same way by taking inspiration from Israel and Israel's management of Gaza. It is bad. That's why Kashmir is colonial. Why Kashmir is colonized. It is what it is.
India has become the top, if not the second, purchasers of military equipment from Israel, including defense systems, drones, radar, surveillance technology. There's also been cooperation on cybersecurity, counterterrorism, agriculture, water management, and innovation. So that visibility really has made the relationship blossom far more. But the reason why this conversation is perhaps different from the 2017 conversation, that the 2017 visit of Narendra Modi, is because of what happened in Gaza between then and now. And it has changed the world's view of Israel. Today, India is going to have to do three very difficult things. One is continue to maintain that strategic partnership with Israel. Two, preserve a long...
Israel does not need a partnership. Israel needs to not have these partners, to be very frank with you. Israel needs to be isolated internationally from trade as long as they are committing a genocide.
Standing
That is
view
what
that
needs
India
to
has
happen.
always had, supporting a Palestinian state. And remember, Israel views support for a Palestinian state as very anti-Israel, right? And also, India does not want to be pushed into like a binary of pro-Israel or pro-Palestine
That is a
global divide.
problem.
We want to be able to stand in the middle and say we're not taking sides, which is what we...
But that is the problem, right? That is the whole problem. Because India does not take sides, because India does not choose the side of good, and more or less it normally chooses the side of bad, we are shuffled as a ball. Catch, catch. Basically from here and there. Neither sides are like us. No one is there to support us. Like what happened with OP Sindoor. Like, I don't know how valid it is for India to go and attack Pakistan in such a way. I do not know. I'm not going to comment on it right now. But no country coming in support of India after which is a very telltale sign that India has lost favor in the world because of its no side rule. And especially because for the past couple of years, India is not on the side of good. It is on the side of bad.
We have always done. I mean, look at how India has managed Russia and Ukraine, for example, and just
Terribly, by the way.
taken not picked sides. How India has managed the US and China.
Okay, India has not managed that well, like by any chances. India has just not managed that well. I am sorry for whoever is coming here and being like, oh, India did such a good job. It has not. India is hated by America. That's why so many tariffs back to back. Russia doesn't give a shit about us anymore. Sorry. And we are going against Iran right now, which is also a Russian ally. Like, we are trying to play it both-sided and it's just not working.
Not picked sides. Similarly, that's the same diplomatic muscle that is being exercised over here as well. So if we break down what India has done so far, India did very publicly condemn the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel. India was among the first major countries to come out and condemn that attack. In fact, what our Prime Minister said at that time was India stands in solidarity with Israel at this difficult hour. And that matters for India because we explicitly used the word terrorist for Hamas. There was no hedging, there was no both sides language.
Hamas, by international law, is not a terrorist organization. It is a freedom fighter movement.
And in that moment, it aligned very clearly with India's stance on terrorism, but also aligned clearly with Israel at that time. At the same time, though, while we made that statement, we've also not withdrawn our support for Palestinian statehood. Our External Affairs Minister, as Jaishankar had said, and I quote, India's long-standing position on Israel-Palestine issues remain unchanged. We support a two-state solution that...
Supporting a two-state solution in good old 2026 is kind of weak.
includes the establishment of a sovereign, independent.
The two-state solution, just for people who do not know, only works if both sides want a two-state solution. Sadly, Israel does not want a two-state solution. Two-state solution as it stands now indicates to Israel that it can keep colonizing more and more of Palestine, which is an extremely bad thing. You should not be allowed to colonize sovereign land. If you are, then you're just basically saying China should be allowed to colonize on Arunachal Pradesh. Is that what you're saying? I don't think so.
Viable state for Palestine to live side by side with Israel in peace. And this is something India has supported from the beginning, Palestinian independent viable statehood, which, as you know, people in Gaza don't have. Concrete action, what this actually means is that India continues to recognize Palestine as a state. India maintains diplomacy with the Palestinian Authority. We have sent, remember, humanitarian aid to Gaza, including medicines, relief material, and we've reiterated calls for civilian protection and humanitarian access. So what we're saying effectively is we support Israel's security, but we don't want to abandon the Palestinians. And we condemn Hamas, but we do not endorse the collective punishment that was being meted out in Gaza. Let's take a look at the voting behavior. There were several points, though, in the last couple of years when there were several United Nations resolutions that called for ceasefires in Gaza.
Shout out 365 fuck off. India and Israel do not like each other. Israelis fucking hate you.
And did not vote for or against. And abstaining actually matters because what it gives you is strategic ambiguity, and it frustrates both camps because you're not picking a side, but it leaves all doors open to you.
No, it does not. That is a bad understanding of this. It does not keep doors open for you. It closes the goddamn doors. Seriously, it does close a lot of goddamn doors. Like, why do you think there are so many tariffs on from America while we are not good with Russia either? Russia doesn't help us or talk about us. Come on.
I remember when this happened, and every time we would cover it, there would be a lot of disappointment from citizens who were worried about the sheer number of civilian deaths, mostly women and children, and the manner in which people were being, were suffering in Gaza at the hands of the Israeli army, and India not taking a side was something that people would found.
Again, they were shooting children right in the head, children as young as 5 years old. That is not war. That is extermination of people. That is not war. And India still wasn't taking a side.
Upsetting whenever those stories came out that India had abstained, but it was what India was also doing, perhaps, whether we agree or not, was maintaining some sort of strategic ambiguity to be able to.
There is no strategic ambiguity, guys. I'm sorry. There is no strategic ambiguity in a genocide.
What we've effectively done is separated Israel from Palestine diplomatically, saying basically this is not one file. So it could have been argued at one point this was one file.
I just don't understand sometimes her commentary on this. We have not separated it. How is this separate? Israel, we have separated Israel and Palestine while Israel is saying we want to take over Palestine. They want the entirety of this Gaza Strip. They are chopping at Syria. They are chopping at the West Bank. What the fuck? Are we actually sure that we have separated them?
As to how you deal with this issue. But effectively now India is dealing with this as two separate files. And you're engaging with Israel on defense technology security, you're engaging with Palestine in diplomacy and development, and one relationship doesn't necessarily hurt the other. Of course,
it does.
There are two audiences to play to. The domestic audience, and let's be honest about this, condemning Hamas also plays well domestically, because Hamas is a Muslim extremist organization with a very violent history. And so this is the kind of organization that India will.
Hamas, by all definitions, is a freedom fighting group. Seriously, not even joking.
Will condemn, and it bodes well domestically also. And abroad, India.
Islamophobia plays well. That is it. Like, this is why I dislike like being just centrist about this. You can't be centrist about a goddamn genocide.
has stressed on humanitarian law, civilian protection, diplomatic solutions, and carefully avoids any language that will alienate Arab partners in the West Asia area, because this is something that we care deeply about. So this is balance, and it's tricky balance because the Gaza war has made neutrality very difficult. It's
It's a fucking. I am tired. I am genuinely tired of every single Indian person coming up here and not calling it a genocide. Seriously, I am tired. How is this the Gaza war? War did makes you think that both sides are equally armed. They equally are fighting. They are not. One side there is a military, other side there are children. How is this ever a war?
difficult to pretend like we don't know what happened in Gaza. And so the balance becomes even more difficult, because what happened in 2017 perhaps cannot be repeated right now because of what has happened in Gaza in the middle. So there's been a lot of criticism towards the government, towards the Prime Minister for this visit, come mostly from the opposition. Like this tweet, for example, that came from Priyanka Gandhi, where she said, "I hope the Honorable Prime Minister mentions the genocide of innocent men, women, and children in Gaza while addressing the Senate."
You wanna be extra depressed? Will you show you something that will legit shake your confidence in India, lol? Excuse me, do you really think I have not seen it? Whatever you're going about, I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I have seen worse. You can send it on the group. I'll check it right now.
Which is the parliament in Israel, which he's going to address, which is considered a very honorable welcome if that's what has been offered. India stood for what is right throughout history as an independent nation, and we must continue to do so. So the criticism really that the country is receiving is in three buckets. One, the moral position, where opposition leaders are arguing that India has historically stood with Palestine, and what is going on now at the time when Palestine really needs us, why have we switched sides? Two, the timing. They're questioning the decision to engage with Israel so visibly while military operations continue in Gaza, in spite of the fact that there was a ceasefire, while there are problems in the West Bank as well. Why are you doing this now? And third, the diplomatic optics. They are arguing that deepening defense ties now appears like unconditional support, regardless of India's official statement. So you could say whatever you want, but what you're doing means something else. So these are three, buckets of criticism that the government has received with regard to this particular visit. But I do want to give you the other side of the story. And in order to understand the other side of the story of why the government is doing what it's doing, we have to go back into the history. And this is where I'll take you into history so that you can decide which way you believe India should be going, right?
Okay, please let this not be sanitized. I am begging you. Please let this not be sanitized.
So India's relationship with either Israel or Palestine did not start now with this government. It dates back to our independence and their sort of formation of their countries as well. So if you go back to 1947, just weeks after independence, at that point, when Jawaharlal Nehru was in charge, India voted against the United Nations partition plan that was going to split up Palestine into two and create an Israel. At that time, Nehru, who was a strong voice, but a stronger voice than that was Mahatma Gandhi, who opposed the partition of Palestine on moral and colonial grounds. Now, think back to the kind of India that was at that time. We had also been split down the middle. We were also recovering from 200 years of colonialism. So India at that point...
A good thing to mention here was that Israelis were not native to Palestine back then. These were Ashkenazi Jews. I'm not even going to call them Israelis. These were Zionists. Zionists were not native to Palestine. They still are not. That's why there is so much of a high level of skin cancers between them. The next point here is there's a reason why DNA testing is illegal in Israel, because you can literally find them if they were native, they are not. At least the Muslims of India are native to India. When we were partitioned, our people were partitioned. This wasn't a partition. This was colonization. They brought in new people to replace the population that there was.
Point was strongly against any sort of opposition based on religion. We were standing in solidarity with all Arab nations, all nations that the British had ruled colonially before that. We saw a kinship with those countries and a sensitivity to domestic opinion, because at that time we had a great fervor that was anti-colonial in India. We had just fought for our independence, and so we were very clear that we would not side with those Western colonial powers. And India saw Palestine through this anti imperial lens. It was not geopolitics, it was a kinship at that time. In 1950, India formally recognized Israel as a country, but we did not establish any diplomatic relations with them. So it was a compromise. Again, under Nehru, India acknowledged the existence of the new country, but refused any sort of political closeness, because at that point we believed we were a leader of the non-aligned movement, which was a really important, and that is where our entire history of not taking sides comes from. We do not align, and during the Cold War specifically, we did not pick a side. It's who we are. We've always been this. We were a champion at that time of decolonialization across Asia, across the Arab countries, and across Africa. And we were also dependent on West Asian oil and trade, and those were relationships we needed to manage. Between 1950 and 1960, India publicly supported Arab states and the Palestinian cause very clearly, especially at the United Nations. What changed though? India actually went to 3 wars, you'll remember, at that point. China in 1962, twice with Pakistan in 65 and 71. So what happened during those wars is that India and Israel quietly began engaging, learning intelligence sharing, military supplies, security advice, and there are former RAW officials who have now come out and talked about it. So B. Raman, for example, who's a former additional secretary, cabinet secretary at RAW, actually wrote a book about how Israel became a quiet but reliable intelligence partner in 1962. Then again in 65 and 71, former Israeli ambassador Gideon Meir actually confirmed Israeli assistance to India in 71, where Israel supplied India with arms and intelligence in that war. Publicly, India under Indira Gandhi remained firmly pro-Palestinian. And you remember this visual of Indira Gandhi and Yasser Arafat. Indira Gandhi's worldview was shaped by and remained anti-imperial. It remained, remember, we had very close ties with the Soviet Union at that point, and leadership in the non-aligned movement. There was a Cold War on, and we refused to take sides in that Cold War. So what it was here is just Cold War realism, where there were 2 sides. On one hand, there was intelligence sharing and military ability sharing with Israel, and on the other hand, there was a very clear, unarguable pro-Palestinian view that we had at that time. In 1974, India became the first non-Arab country to officially recognize the Palestinian Liberal Organization, or the PLO. We gave them an office in Delhi as well. In 1988, India formally recognized the state of Palestine, which we still do. We have diplomatic relations with Palestine. Full diplomatic relations with Israel started in 1992 under P.V. Narasimha Rao as Prime Minister, where we opened embassies in New Delhi and in Tel Aviv. What had changed between Indira Gandhi and Narasimha Rao? The Cold War ended. The Soviet Union had collapsed. India began its economic liberalization. The Arab unity had started to fracture. Oslo process was underway as well. So it was a different world per se in that way. So there was a recalibration of all of those relationships. Between
There is a thing that is going on. There's an understanding that the capitalistic thought within India came because of the CIA intervention in India.
1992 and 2014, until Prime Minister Modi took over, under Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh.
Yes, you are chai.
We expanded our relationship with
You're
Israel
literal
in
chai.
defense.
They drink you for breakfast. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Chaiwala has gone to Israel to sell chai more. Like, you do not know that you are putting your head down a tiger's face and letting it eat you alive.
In intelligence, in agriculture, water technology, counter terrorism, India still remained cautious. None of these prime ministers.
And what have you done for them? And what have you done for them? Tell me, what has the BJP government done for them? What has the BJP government done for Kashmiri Hindus rather than just using it for electoral gain? Thank God you brought this up. I agree. Kashmiri Hindus should be allowed to be back there, get land. But what has the government that is pro? No. Don't fuck off like this. Don't fuck off like I'm Israel Chai. Pash, tell me, what has you brought this up? What has the BJP government done for fucking Kashmiri Hindus? Literally nothing. Fucking idiotic bots.
Visited Israel up until that point, and this high level engagement was still kept discreet. It was not public. Support for Palestine continued in international forums, and India continued to balance optics very carefully. 2014 onwards, Narendra Modi came in, took over, made it explicit. He became the first prime minister, as I was telling you earlier, to visit Israel. Barefoot walk on the beach with.
Shouldn't have Modi help pundits in the last? It has not. It has not for once a day. They have, like, there are pundits that have come out and said that Modi has just used them for votes. Literally nothing else.
Bibi, the shift was not about abandoning Palestine.
They literally
because
abandoned
they have made
Palestine.
statements over
They're
and
fucking
over
idiots.
again about it, but it has been viewed very clearly as taking sides. And that's the balance, really, and the context that we're actually talking about. Remember, India has now become a chief buyer of drones, surveillance, radar, battlefield.
And all at very expensive as compared to everyone else. At this point of time, we should be looking at China because they beat us. We should be looking at the drone technology they have because they are like years ahead of us. But no, we are still sucking up to fucking Israel. And Israel gives us shit anyway.
Surveillance systems, cybersecurity, digital surveillance capabilities, all of which are being used at the border at our various points in our country. So whether that's the line of control with Pakistan, the line of
Bozos will swear by Hindutva, but their leader are just using Hindutva to fool. Exactly. Bozos are idiots.
actual control, with on the Chinese borders, we're using a lot of this equipment that we've got from Israel. There's also the question of Pegasus. You'll remember that was asked and never quite adequately answered.
Pegasus was Israeli. Modi bought it to spy on Indians. That is all there is to it.
Is a spyware developed in Israel that can access phones remotely, can read your messages, it can activate your microphone and your camera of your phone without your permission. The Indian government has neither confirmed nor denied purchasing or using Pegasus, but Israel...
Right, every single person has Pegasus on their phone. Every single, like Rahul Gandhi had Pegasus on his phone because of whatever reason. उसका थोड़ा ये था, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? उसका थोड़ा fantasy था to have Pegasus on his phone. That's why he has it on his phone.
Is globally accepted to be among the leaders of surveillance technology, not just to be used militarily, but also to be used domestically and to survey their own people, the people of Palestine and the people on the West Bank. So there are many gray areas there. There are many questions of how things are done. For example, if in the West Bank, they feel that there is a Palestinian who has supported Hamas in any way or gone against the Israeli government in any way. Own people, the people of Palestine. This is a spyware developed in Israel that can access phones remotely, can read your messages, it can activate your microphone and your camera of your phone without your permission. The Indian government has neither confirmed nor denied purchasing or using Pegasus, but Israel is globally accepted to be among the leaders of surveillance technology, not just to be used militarily, but also to be used domestically and to survey their own people, the people of Palestine and the people on the West Bank. So there are many gray areas there. There are many questions of how things are done. For example, if in the West Bank, they feel that there is a Palestinian who has supported Hamas in any way or gone against the Israeli government in any way, they bulldoze their house. There are several other such examples where the learning sort of colors outside the lines of what is military diplomacy. But this is the backdrop of this entire relationship. So, on one side, there are those who say, hey, India needs the equipment that Israel is able to share with us, and we need to maintain this relationship now publicly because we don't like Hamas, we don't like Muslim extremism, we don't like violence, we don't like terrorism, and they are absolutely right. And on the other side, there are those that say, hey, from the days of Mahatma Gandhi to who we are right now, India has stood against colonial occupation.
Jesus. There are other places you can buy weapons. There are other places you can get weapons from. India is not supporting India is not supporting Israel because of any of that shit. It's just doing it at the beck and call of the Prime Minister of America, the President of America. They're trying to get into his good books. And they think the way through to America is through the Israel. That's why they're dancing over there. It's just so simple.
We have stood with the people of Palestine. We have always believed the people of Palestine were wronged from the Nakba of the 1940s to what has happened now in Gaza. And at a time when the people of Palestine need us the most, we can't possibly be flipping and changing our tune. These are two sides to that story. I'll leave it up to you. I know how I feel, but I'm not going to put it out there because I don't want to color your opinion. So I'm going to leave it up to you.
Jesus Christ. Centrists not taking a side kinda is very annoying because I really do question if a centrist is. I just don't know. I know it's very. I'm being very quiet on this thing, but I just don't know how to feel about this. Anyway, we'll get to the speech. The speech is hilarious, by the way. Fucker can't speak 5 words.
His Excellency Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, His Excellency.
He speaks so slowly because he's reading off a teleprompter and not just like because he can't speak English. He is so fucking slow. Because he's mimicking the sound of English, not speaking English.
Mr. Amir Ohana, Speaker of the Knesset, His Excellency Mr. Yair Lapid, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Members of the Knesset, my dear sisters and brothers, Shalom. Namaste. Honorable members, it is a privilege and an honor for me to stand before this distinguished House. I do so as the Prime Minister of India and also as a representative of one ancient civilization addressing another. I bring with me the greetings of 1.4 billion Indians and a message of friendship.
Jesus, don't add me into this. Jesus fucking Christ. I am not friends with Zionists. I'm sorry. There is no friendship between Indians and there is a friendship between the right-wing Sangh and Israelis. Yeah, count all of us out. Jesus Christ.
respect, and partnership. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your kind invitation and for your wonderful gesture of lighting up the Knesset in Indian colors. Your visit to India 3 years ago was the first by a Speaker of the Knesset. And thanks to you, I'm the first Prime Minister of India to address this august gathering. Nine years ago, I had the good fortune to be the first Prime Minister of India to visit Israel.
Also stands to be the only and hopefully will be the last one too.
And I'm very happy to be here again, returning to a land to which I've always felt drawn.
Yes, because he's a genocidaire. And he's going to a land that is currently in the middle of a genocide. Done by the people who invited him. Jesus, this is so fucking simple.
After all, I was born on the same day that India formally recognized Israel, September 17, 1950.
This is true. Actually, this is actually true. And this is not a joke. This is true. He was born on the same day India recognized the genocidal Zionist movement. This is the same day when India recognized the colonial movement, the only remaining at that point, no, not only remaining, but it was a very new colonial movement and the currently only remaining colonial movement until very recently. India recognized the hatefulness of Israel at the same time he was born. It was just foretold. It was foretold. They were warning us against Modi.
Honorable
Modi said, I was born on the same day it was recognized, trolled Israel telling I am as old as your country.
members, I also carry with me the deepest condolences of the people of India
Go fuck off.
for every life lost and for every family whose world was shattered in the barbaric terrorist attack by Hamas on October 7.
You know, there is a theory, if you are going to listen to Basim Yusuf, that the theory here is that Israel kind of bombed their own people and most of them died because of it.
We feel your pain. We share your grief.
Yes, I mean, okay, there is a similarity between like October 7th and what happened in Pahalgam. Both countries were told that there is going to be an attack, but neither countries did anything. So yeah, that's the similarity where neither country did anything for an attack that was very well avoidable at this point. This is the same actually with Pahalgam too. Pahalgam attack was foretold by the Indian military. They told like, we are going to, there might be an attack. There was some explosives found, but nothing happened because the Home Minister denied their request for better transportation. Think about it. Everyone is mad at India because of this. Even people who didn't talk about India right now are mad at this. Yeah, it's backfiring already.
India stands with Israel firmly,
In being genocidaires together.
with full conviction in this moment and beyond.
No. Just no.
No cause can justify the murder of civilians.
Say that to Israel. Like, seriously, this is an Israel problem. Israel is murdering Palestinian civilians.
Nothing can justify terrorism.
Again, bold of you to say in the only terrorist state recognized by the International Court of Justice.
India has also endured the pain of terrorism for a long time. We remember the 26/11 Mumbai attacks and the innocent lives lost, including Israeli citizens. Like you, we have consistent and uncompromising policy of zero tolerance for terrorism with no double standards. Terrorism aims to destabilize societies, to block development, and to erode trust. Countering terrorism requires sustained and coordinated global action because terror anywhere threatens peace everywhere. That is why India supports all efforts that contribute to durable peace and regional stability. Some years ago, when you concluded the Abraham Accords, we applauded your courage and vision. It was a moment of new hope for a long troubled region. Since then, the situation has changed significantly. The path is even more challenging. Yet, it is important to sustain that hope. The Gaza Peace Initiative
Gaza Peace Initiative
that
is
was
basically
endorsed
take over
by
Gaza by Israel and kick Gazans out. Not even joking. That is what it is.
the UN Security Council offers a pathway. India has expressed its firm support for the initiative. We believe that it holds the promise of a just and durable peace for all the people of the region, including by addressing the Palestine issue. Let all our efforts be guided by wisdom, courage, and humanity. The road to peace is not always easy, but India joins you and the world
Bro has been promising peace in Kashmir since 2014. Absolutely shit all has happened.
for dialogue, peace, and stability.
Yes, Priyanka Gandhi did take a firm stand against Israel, which is good. She has a backbone. Thank God, there's someone at least.
In this region. Honorable members, in India, there is a great admiration for Israel's resolve, courage, and achievements.
Israelis fucking hate you. They call you goyim. They call you pigs. What more do you want? And you're still sucking up to them. Jesus Christ. Again,
Long before we related to each other as modern states, we were linked by ties that go back more than 2,000 years. The book of Esther refers to India as Hodu. The Talmud records trade with India in ancient times. Jewish merchants traveled across sea routes that connected the Mediterranean
I have like a general question. Do you think they Jewistigated Modi before coming here? Because they were trying to Jewistigate Adani. Maybe
with
he
the
passed.
Indian Ocean. They
Maybe he
came
has kissed the wall. You never know.
seeking opportunity and dignity. And in India, they became one of us. Jewish communities have lived in India without fear of persecution or discrimination. They have preserved their faith and participated fully in society. That record is a source of pride for us. Honorable members, the Bene Israel of Maharashtra,
What the fuck?
the Kochini Jews of Kerala, the Baghdadi Jews of Kolkata and Mumbai,
Again, let me just remind you, Israel has a caste system. All of these Jews are going to be less than serfs if they go back to Israel. They don't give a shit about them.
and the Bene Menashe of the Northeast have enriched India. In my home state, Gujarat, there is a school set up by a Bene Israeli family, Mr. and Mrs. Best. It is an excellent school, and of course, it is called the Best School.
This is, I think, one of the schools that Anil Ambani was talking about when he was trying to sell, like, oh, look, please do business with me. Give me young, blonde, Swedish women. I am maybe from that school, please.
Edwin Myers gave shape to the film's division of India and was towering figure in the history of Indian cinema. Dr. Rubin David was the founder of the Kankaria Jew in Ahmedabad. The actor David Abraham Cheulkar, or Uncle David, become a household name
Not once. Not
across
once.
the country.
Has not happened.
Walter Kaufman composed the signature tune for All India Radio.
Serious question. What does India gain? Assuming what Modi and his supporters are saying, it's true that it's India's interest, but I have looked and looked hard. Couldn't find anything. I mean, Israel only gives India mid-tier radars or for Tejas. So it only has hate for someone driving them towards Yes, India does absolutely nothing. This is not about India. This is about Adani getting a deal. It makes Adani's and Ambani's rich. The deal happened the last time Modi went to Israel. It is happening again now. We should
Maybe it's
forget. We should forget that this is about India. This is not about India. Replace India. Just think of Adani and Ambani gaining shit when he mentions India.
soon built many institutions that still serve Indian society. And of course, the heroic contribution of Lieutenant General J.F.R. Jacob during the 1970 war with Pakistan is widely known.
Literally the first time hearing it, and I knew a lot about this. Bro is just bringing shit out of the bag for just sucking up
I had the honor
Israel dick. Whatever one might think, Priyanka Gandhi, no, I read that. Even if Ambani were priority, shouldn't the goal be bigger, more important markets? India is a market that is very high for exploitation because you can directly exploit at the core of the government. If everyone increases the price of electricity to sell it to, increase the price of electricity and the money directly goes back to Israel, it's a bigger market. India has a lot of people. They're working on this idea that everyone sells you like 1 rupee, but multiplied by billion, it's a billion rupees that all go to Israel. American markets work on like expensive but small purchases. Indian market works on cheap but high amount. He should have gone to Palestine too. Yes, he should have, but he's making a deal for Adanis and Ambanis. He's not going to go to Palestine because that will make his Israeli masters very angry. He's gone there to kiss the wall, basically. He's gone there to get up in his ass.
of working closely with him after his retirement. We discussed India-Israel relations among many other things over many cups of tea. There have been countless others whose contributions are woven into India's rich fabric of life. Honorable members,
Let's just be clear. Bro has not gone to Manipur, but he has gone to Israel.
there was movement from India to Israel too, when many Indians
Recently, I'm not even joking. Recently, a guy was beaten up for being Indian. Like last week, he was beaten the fuck up for being Indian.
Jews migrated to Israel in the mid 20th century. Today, a vibrant Indian origin Jewish community lives here. They are contributed to the building of modern Israel in laboratories and hospitals, in classrooms.
Well, at least good that Modi didn't claim he gave free tea to settlers in 50s. He will, don't worry.
And also on the battlefield. They hold firmly that Israelis.
Like, hold on. I need you to see this. Racist assault on Indians in Israel as New Delhi keeps mum on West Bank ahead of Modi's visit. Literally happened 18th of February 2026. Don't tell me like Indians are accepted in Israel.
Israel is their fatherland and India their motherland.
This literally means he's going there to work, guys. This literally means he's being paid by Israel. You don't understand this. I don't know how. People don't understand this. He's basically saying, I'm gonna suck off fucking Israel.
We are proud of them. Honorable members, India's connection to this land is also written in blood and sacrifice. During the First World War, more than 4,000 Indian soldiers laid down their lives in this region.
No, not this region. Jesus.
The cavalry charge at Haifa in September 1918 remains a significant chapter in military history.
You see that smirk? You see that smirk?
Chapter
That smirk is like, देख कैसा लौड़ा बनाया मैंने इसको, ये मेरे हाथ की खा रहा है.
in military history. Major Thakur Dalpat Singh, remembered as the hero of Haifa, symbolized the shared history. During my last visit, I was deeply moved to pay my respect at the Haifa Memorial for Indian soldiers. Honorable members, last month, the world marked the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. The Holocaust stands as one of humanity's darkest chapters. Yet, even in those turbulent years, some acts of humanity stood out. The Maharaja of Navanagar in Gujarat, also known as
Forget morality. One shouldn't forget morality moment. Anyone who has basic understanding of IR in reality, would have told Modi that this isn't a good time to pull this. I mean, Tharoor should have, if he had asked, yeah, probably. I don't think Tharoor knows either. RSS is well connected with the Zionists and the Nazis, so.
the Jam Sahib offered refuge to Polish children.
Literally, he says refuse. Jesus, refuse means trash. It's the word is refuge. I cannot with his English. This is supposed to be the Prime Minister of India. We should all be ashamed. We should all be ashamed.
Including Jewish children who had
Jesus Christ, that is a fucking slur.
nowhere else to turn. I am told that a statue of Jam Sahib
What happened? I screamed so hard this stream kind of stopped. What's wrong?
was unveiled in Moshav Nevatim recently. Thank you. Thank you for this honor and remembrance.
You saw the video I sent on Discord after... no, I did not. Again, I didn't see anything on afternoon time. Where is this?
Honorable members, after India's independence,
I thought he was leaving. Jesus, why is he still talking?
many Indian leaders felt a kinship with the people of Israel. India's parliamentary debates of the 1950s are witness to their admiration for Israel's effort to develop agriculture in the desert. The kibbutz movement of Israel inspired our leaders like Acharya Vinoba Bhave and Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan. First in my home state, Gujarat, and now across India, I've seen the approach of per drop, more crop work wonders in agriculture. My own first visit to Israel was in 2006 as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Later in 2017, during my visit to Israel as Prime Minister, our two countries elevated the relationship to a strategic partnership. Since then, our engagement has expanded in scale and scope, and we are committed to further consolidate this relationship across many sectors. Honorable members, for the last few years, India has been the fastest growing major economy in the world.
It has not.
Soon, we will be among the top 3 economies globally.
We will not. Global economies require you to have purchasing power. We do not.
At the same time, Israel is a powerhouse of innovation and technological leadership. This creates a
We literally bought a Chinese dog to show up at the AI summit. What is India about innovation? Don't talk to me about India about innovation. Fuck off.
natural foundation for our forward-looking partnership. We are committed to expanding trade, strengthening investment flows, and promoting joint infrastructure development. The bilateral investment treaty signed last year will provide confidence and predictability to our businesses. In the last few years, India has concluded a number of important trade agreements with other nations. To your west, the European Union and the UK. To your east, the UAE and Oman. Our bilateral goods trade has grown significantly in recent years, but it does not reflect the full scope of opportunity. That is why our teams are working hard to negotiate an ambitious free trade agreement. It will
With
unlock
Adani and Ambani,
the
not with
vast
Indians, by the way.
untapped potential in our trade relationship. We will also work closely in different formats, such as India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, and the I2U2 framework between India, Israel, UAE, and the US. Defense and security is another important pillar of our partnership. In November last year, we signed an MOU on defense cooperation. In today's uncertain world, a
Uncertain.
strong defense partnership between trusted partners like India and Israel is of vital importance.
Like, I swear to you, like, as there is like an age requirement in India for going to down this shit, like, if there's an age requirement to become prime minister, you should have an age, you can have a language requirement of at least English. Like, seriously, you should have a language requirement to become prime minister of India. You can't have this shameless ass talking like out of his fucking ass because he's just parroting everything in the front. Whatever is written on him on the teleprompter, he's just parroting it at this point. There should be a requirement to be able to speak English in India. I am sorry, you should be able to. India is a country of like thousands of languages. The only common language we have is English, that we can also speak with other countries around the world.
Honorable members, Israel is often called the startup nation. In recent years, we have also been working to unlock the innovation and creativity of our youth. I recall that in 2018, Prime Minister Netanyahu and I inaugurated
Well, at least he says Netanyahu correctly.
the I Create Technology Business Incubator in India.
And then sold Pegasus for spying on its own citizens.
Since then, it has supported nearly 900 such startups. Last week, we hosted the world's
Absolute Vikas.
largest
Why don't forget, India has been a failure in the startup market.
and the most democratized AI Impact Summit with representatives
From China, because they bought Chinese goods and showed it at the AI summit.
from over 100 countries. Our aspirational spirit aligns naturally with Israel's innovation ecosystem. I see a lot of synergies in areas such as quantum technologies, semiconductors, and artificial intelligence. We are also working with Israel on creating cross-border financial linkages using our digital public infrastructure. Honorable members, I mentioned how inspiring we found Israel's agricultural miracle in desert. Israeli expertise in
What happened? Ah, okay. This computer just cannot take
Precision
multiple videos
irrigation.
playing on the side.
and water management has already transformed agricultural practices in India.
He made them worse. Just to be clear, he made them absolutely worse. He's selling everything off to Reliance and Ambanis and Adanis. He is introducing American tractors and equipment that are for company, like a corporate level farming in India. Corporate fucking level farming in India. Indian farming is as basic as, like, it is intensive. It is by the farmers. It is of the poorest of the poor. They cannot afford high level American tractors. They cannot afford that equipment. He has not transferred them for Indians. He has transferred them for a select number of Gujaratis that are his friends and that pay him.
Together, we have established 43 centers of excellence across India that have provided training to more than 500,000 farmers. We should now set an ambitious goal to expanding to 100 centers to benefit millions of farmers and fishermen. Honorable
Again, fishermen, corporate sector, corporate fucking sector for fishermen. Only the corporate sector can now go and fucking fish. Indian fisheries are extremely intensive. You do not need tie-ups with fucking America for it. This guy,
members,
he's selling everything off.
at the heart of the India-Israel partnership are the ties between our peoples.
Guys, if you're new here, please do like, share, and subscribe. It is extremely important. Thank you very much.
When I first visited Israel in 2006, there were a handful of yoga centers in Israel. Today,
Yes, our major export, yoga fucking centers.
Yoga seems to be practiced in almost every neighborhood. I'm told that interest I'm told that interest in Ayurveda is also growing in Israel. I invite more and more young Israelis to travel to India. They will witness the dynamism of our society and experience what holistic wellness can do for the body and the mind. I'm happy to inform this August House that the Indian Parliament has set up a parliamentary friendship group for Israel. I invite you all to visit India and look forward to having more exchanges between our members of parliament. I am aware that Indian caregivers and skilled workers in Israel contribute immensely to families and communities. They have displayed remarkable courage and dedication in times of crisis, including on October 7. We are proud of them. As the Jewish teachings reminds us, whoever saves one life saves the entire world. Their service reflects the strength of the human bonds behind our cooperation. We will continue to facilitate the movement of workers and professionals across sectors that benefit both of our nations. Honorable members, we are both ancient civilizations, and it is perhaps no surprise that our civilizational traditions also reveal philosophical parallels. In Israel, the principle of tikkun olam speaks of healing the world.
Zion is healing the world, guys. That's the joke.
In India, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam affirms
You heard what?
that the world is one family. Both ideas extend responsibility beyond immediate boundaries. They ask societies to act with compassion and moral courage. Judaism
This man is fucking annoying, by the way.
emphasizes
He is. He's very annoying. He's just lying straight up.
guiding everyday conduct through law and practice. Hindu philosophy speaks of dharma, the moral order that shapes duty and right action.
No,
In both traditions,
dharma literally just
ethical
means the
life
work you do.
is lived through action and faith is expressed through conduct. There is an enduring similarity in our festivals as well. You celebrate Hanukkah with the warm glow of
Hanukkah. He said Hanukkah.
candles. Around the same time, we celebrate Diwali, the festival of lights with the gentle radiance of lamps. Soon, India will celebrate the festival of Holi, filled with happiness and color.
Every single religion has a post winter celebration. It is not special.
And around the same time, Israel will also celebrate Purim with enthusiasm and joy. Honorable members, our shared ideals are the deep foundations that give strength to our modern partnership. We are democracies shaped by history and focus on the future. Our partnership is grounded in shared experience and shared aspirations. Our strong partnership not only serves national interests, but also contributes to global stability and prosperity. Let us ensure that the friendship between India and Israel remains a source of strength in an uncertain world. Am Israel Khai.
Jeez. He is just like, there's a conversation about dual loyalties in America. Bro is straight up Israeli now. Jidhar se bhi paisa hai, he sells India to the person. Like American president won't say this. Imagine, Trump won't say this.
Jai Hind. Thank you.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Anyway, so the reason why they are so similar,
Hindutva, meaning Hinduness, is a term popularized
because
in
both are based on
1920s
Nazis.
by Vinayak Damodar
Like
Savarkar.
Damodar
And
Savarkar,
gained
the
traction
fucker,
as India
was
sought
like
to
so
distance
inspired by the
itself from
Nazis
both
and
British
the
colonial
Zionists.
rule and 16th century Islamic Mughal dynasty. Savarkar, an atheist, wanted to transform secular India into a nation defined by Hindu dominance and wrote that Hindus were an ethnic rather than a religious group. He believed Hindutva would restore India's glorious Hindu past, with Hindus reasserting cultural and racial superiority over foreign Muslims. This idea of vilifying Muslims became central to preserving a pure Hindu India in the years to come. Savarkar's definition of Hindutva went on to form the basis of Hindu nationalist political ideology. It's been used by right-wing Hindu nationalist organizations like the BJP and the RSS, a group banned temporarily in 1948 after one of its members assassinated Gandhi. During that time, Hindu nationalists found inspiration in the cultural nationalism and race pride of Nazism, while also identifying with Zionist movement that was gaining momentum. Both Hindutva and Zionism saw a shared goal in building majoritarian democracies, states driven by one culture, one race, one identity.
Some of the seminal texts of Hindutva and Zionism, be it by Vladimir Jabotinsky or M.S. Golwalkar, these all emerged around the same period between World War I and World War II. Even the paramilitary organizations like Betar that we are hearing a lot about today, and the RSS, which is considered the biggest paramilitary organization in the world.
Listen, paramilitary organization. I would add also terrorist.
These are built to create a kind of new Jew or a new Hindu. In other words, militarized masculine figures who are meant to power the nation.
On the 6th of December 1992, Hindu nationalist mobs mobilized by the RSS, VHP and BJP demolished the 16th century Babri Mosque in Ayodhya. claiming it stood on the birthplace of the Hindu god Ram. The act sparked nationwide riots, the deadliest since partition, killing around 2,000 people, mostly Muslims. So rather than losing support, the BJP and RSS gained momentum. The BJP, often seen as the RSS's political arm, surged in popularity and went on to win national elections in 1996 and 1998 on a wave of temple-centric Hindu nationalism. Hindutva, meaning Hinduness, is a term popularized in the 1920s by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar and gained traction as India sought to distance itself from both British colonial rule and 16th century Islamic Mughal dynasty. Savarkar, an atheist, wanted to transform secular India into a nation defined by Hindu dominance and wrote that Hindus were an ethnic rather than a religious group. He believed Hindutva would restore India's glorious Hindu past.
It will never, because Jesus, I can't even begin to say that even Israel cannot develop its whatever through Zionism. Seriously. You can't develop a country with genocide. That is just the truth of it.
With Hindus reasserting cultural and racial superiority over foreign Muslims. This idea of vilifying Muslims became central to preserving a pure Hindu India in the years to come. Savarkar's definition of Hindutva went on to form the basis of Hindu nationalist political ideology. It's been used by right-wing Hindu nationalist organizations like the BJP and the RSS, a group banned temporarily in 1948 after one of its members assassinated Gandhi.
India needs China policy. Yeah, it needs socialism. That is true. Thank you for coming here and saying that. I don't know why your message is not being shown on the board here, which is actually weird because it should have. Maybe now it should be showing. Yeah. I don't know why your message is not being shown here. It should have. Maybe if I refresh this. Nah, it's not working. But fine, underrated. First of all, like, share, and subscribe if you can. It is true that India still needs a policy like China, to be honest.
During that time, Hindu nationalists found inspiration
Team
in the
Ninja
cultural
is weird
nationalism
and bad.
and race pride of Nazism, while also identifying with Zionist movement that was gaining momentum. Both Hindutva and Zionism saw a shared goal in building majoritarian democracies, states driven by one culture, one race, one identity.
Some of the seminal texts of Hindutva and Zionism, be it by Vladimir Jabotinsky or M.S. Golwalkar, these all emerged around the same period between World War I and World War II. Even the paramilitary organizations like Betar that we are hearing a lot about today, and the RSS, which is considered the biggest paramilitary organization in the world, these are built to create a kind of new Jew or a new Hindu. In other words, militarized masculine figures who are meant to power the nation.
On the 6th of December 1992, Hindu nationalist mobs mobilized by the RSS, VHP and BJP demolished the 16th century Babri Mosque in Ayodhya, claiming it stood on the birthplace of the Hindu god Ram. The act sparked nationwide riots, the deadliest since partition, killing around 2,000 people, mostly Muslims. So rather than losing support, the BJP and RSS gained momentum. The BJP, often seen as the RSS's political arm, surged in popularity and went on to win
Again, RSS is a paramilitary terrorist organization. It needs to be banned.
national elections in 1996 and 1998 on a wave of temple-centric Hindu nationalism. Hindutva, meaning Hinduness, is a term popularized in the 1920s by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar.
Oh, actually, it started again. Lol. Sorry, I did not realize this. Anyway, I was gonna just watch this, to be honest with you. Being Human has this amazing video. It is, I think, also like Dhruv Rati based.
मोदी डिक्टेटरशिप है तो जाग मनाओ, फिर योगी और उसके बाद जब हम आएंगे ना तो सांस लेना मुश्किल हो जाएगा।
नमस्कार दोस्तों, कभी सोचकर देखा है कि कैसे दुनिया के सबसे जाने माने डिक्टेटर
I still don't like how he kind of verbalizes it. I'm sorry, I just don't. I just can't take it.
एडोल्फ
But he's like the most popular YouTuber in India, so I should not be complaining.
हिटलर ने करोड़ों लोगों को ब्रेन वॉश किया अपना अंधभक्त बनने पर।
मोदी जी जैसा नेता ना था, ना है, ना आएगा।
दुनिया का सबसे बेस्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर है, ऐसा लीडर दुनिया में कहीं भी नहीं है।
बाप जो पैदा किया उससे बड़ा मोदी है, उतना वो भगवान है, भगवान उनका नाम है भगवान। देश का भगवान नहीं, विश्व का भगवान।
1923 में एक बायोग्राफी लिखी गई थी हिटलर पर, जिस बायोग्राफी में हिटलर को जीसस क्राइस्ट से कंपेयर किया गया और वो एक ऐसे इंसान है जो जर्मनी को आकर बचाएंगे।
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ, बार बार कह रहा हूँ, हिंदुस्तान को हिंदुत्व विचारधारा से हमेशा रंगीन बनाए रखने के लिए परमात्मा ने राजनीति के क्षेत्र में मोदी और योगी जैसे महान व्यक्तित्व को भेज दिया है।
और मोदी जी भारत के लिए भगवान का वरदान बन के आए हैं।
भगवान ने ही मनुष्य के रूप में नरेंद्र मोदी जी के रूप में अवतार लिया।
हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जो खुद भगवान स्वरूप है,
मोदी जी के रूप में श्री रामचंद्र ने जन्म लिया है।
मोदी राम और कृष्ण की भूमिका में है।
बाद में पता चला दोस्तों, ये बायोग्राफी हिटलर ने खुद ही लिखी थी, खुद ही अपने आप को जीसस क्राइस्ट से कंपेयर किया था।
इसमें देख सकते हैं प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को किस तरह से वो कृष्ण के अवतार में,
और माननीय मोदी जी भगवान राम का दूसरा रूप है।
मोदी जी है ना, साक्षात भगवान महाकाल जी का अवतार है। वो इस संसार में सनातन धर्म की रक्षा के लिए ही उनका अवतार हुआ है।
हमारा मोदी भगवान है और अमित शाह भगवान है।
This is how stupid every संगी sounds.
और मोदी राम और अमित शाह कृष्ण।
मैं मोदी जी को ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश कहूंगी।
पूरे देश को उनकी पूजा करनी चाहिए।
आप पूछोगे जर्मनी की आम जनता ने इसमें क्यों विश्वास किया? इसके पीछे दो मेन रीजन है। पहला यह है कि सारा मीडिया हिटलर के सामने बिक चुका था।
देश की हर माँ ये चाहती है कि उसका बेटा प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जैसा बने और हर बेटा भी खुद को नरेंद्र मोदी से जोड़कर देखना चाहता है।
मोदी जी के पास हर चीज का सॉल्यूशन है।
पीएम मोदी जैसा कोई नहीं, पीएम नंबर 1।
2024 में नरेंद्र मोदी दुनिया के प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे क्या?
अगर एक आम आदमी लॉजिकली सोचकर डेटा के हिसाब से वोट देगा तो कभी भी एक डिक्टेटर को वोट नहीं देगा। तो इसलिए एक डिक्टेटर को पैथोस यानी इमोशंस पर रिलाय करना पड़ता है लोगों का वोट लेने के लिए।
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी खुद को पैदाइशी राष्ट्रवादी हिंदू कहते हैं, इसे स्वीकार करते हैं। पीएम मोदी ही हिंदू हृदय सम्राट हैं। देश के हिंदू हृदय सम्राट ही नहीं है, आज वो सबसे बड़े हिंदू हृदय सम्राट हैं।
इंडी अलायंस वाले लोग जानबूझकर हिंदू धर्म का अपमान करते हैं। और पहले जब उनकी सरकार थी, उन्होंने कहा था कि देश की संपत्ति पर पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का है।
कि चुनाव बाबर और राम के बीच है,
ये आपको तय करना है, राम जादव की सरकार बनेगी या हराम जादव की सरकार बनेगी।
भैया तुम लोगों को अली मुबारक हो, हमारे लिए बजरंग बली हमारे साथ में है।
इसलिए निर्णय इस बात का होगा कि इस्लाम जीतेगा कि भगवान जीतेगा।
जय जय श्री राम, जय जय श्री राम, जय जय श्री राम।
सिर्फ पैथोस का इस्तेमाल करना, सिर्फ इमोशंस का इस्तेमाल करना काफी नहीं है किसी भी डिक्टेटर के लिए। एक डिक्टेटर को अगर सही में डिक्टेटर बनना है तो लॉजिक को पूरी तरह से खत्म करना पड़ेगा पहले।
विज्ञान तो ज्योतिष के सामने बौना है और इसलिए मैं कहना चाहता हूं, ये ज्योतिष विज्ञान सारी दुनिया के लिए नंबर 1 का श्रीमान।
यदि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा है कि हाँ, हमारे पास जब दुनिया में कुछ नहीं था तो भी हमारे पास प्लास्टिक सर्जरी थी।
हम गणेश जी की पूजा करते हैं, कोई तो प्लास्टिक सर्जन होगा उस जमाने में जिसने मनुष्य के शरीर पर हाथी का सर रख करके प्लास्टिक सर्जरी की प्रारंभ किया होगा।
सतपाल सिंह ने एक बार फिर ये कहा कि इंसानों की विकास यात्रा बंदरों से शुरू नहीं हुई। वे मानते हैं कि हम ऋषियों की संतान हैं।
हम तो ऋषियों की संतान है, ऐसा मानते हैं। हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति ये मानती है कि हम ऋषियों की संतान हैं।
मैं खुद को बंदर की संतान नहीं मानता, किसी ने बंदर को इंसान बनते नहीं देखा। बात तो सही है, एक जीवन में कोई यह कैसे देख सकता है? किसी ने ऋषियों को जरूर देखा होगा तब, लेकिन ऋषियों से इंसान बनते हुए किसने देखा? ये सवाल तो किसी ने सतपाल जी से भी नहीं पूछा, तो फिर ये सवाल उठा क्यों? तो फिर आप ब्रेक क्यों नहीं ले लेते हैं? ले लीजिए ब्रेक।
एक भारी मात्रा में स्यूडो साइंस भी देखने को मिलती थी। ऐसे फर्जी रिसर्च पेपर्स निकाले जाते थे जिसमें रिसर्च छापी जाती थी कि देखो कैसे हम
watching this is just fun.
जो जर्मन्स हैं
like I can't even
वो बड़े सुपीरियर रेस के हैं। हमारा जो ब्लड है वो प्योर है और जो बाकी लोग हैं, बाकी रेस के लोग हैं, वो एक सब ह्यूमन कैटेगरी में आते हैं, हमसे निचले लोग।
हिंदू धर्म में जिस व्यक्ति का जन्म होता है वो व्यक्ति बहुत ही भाग्यशाली होता है। बाकी के जो हर जन्म में पाप करते हैं उनका जीवन ही पाप करने के लिए होता है, वो गोल टोपी वाला होता है।
हिंदू अलग
संस्कृति है, मुस्लिम अलग संस्कृति है, दोनों एक साथ नहीं रह सकती, दो संस्कृतियां कभी एक साथ नहीं रह सकती हैं। ये टकराव होगा, जरूर होगा, और जब दो संस्कृतियां एक साथ नहीं रह सकती इसलिए इसका विभाजन असंभव ही है, अवश्य होना चाहिए। जिस दिन ये राष्ट्र हिंदू राष्ट्र हो जाएगा, जिस दिन ये देश परम पूज्य योगी आदित्यनाथ जी जैसे युवा सन्यासियों के हाथ में चला जाएगा, तो मुसलमान दोयम दर्जे का नागरिक बनेगा, और जब मुसलमान दोयम दर्जे का नागरिक बनेगा तो उसके वोट देने का अधिकार छीन लिया जाएगा।
वापस जर्मनी पर आए तो हिटलर की एक और फेमस तकनीक थी कि जर्मन्स के अंदर डर क्रिएट करो, एक फेक एनिमी क्रिएट करो, एक फर्जी दुश्मन जो असली में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता, लेकिन उसके बेसिस पर देशवासियों को डराओ और फिर दिखाओ कि कैसे मैं हीरो हूं और आकर इन फर्जी दुश्मनों से मैं सारे देशवासियों को बचाऊं। इस केस में दोस्तों ये फर्जी दुश्मन थे ज्यूज। कंस्पिरेसी थ्योरीज बनाई गई, फर्जी खबरें फैलाई गई कि कैसे ये ज्यूज एक्चुअली में इंटरनल एनिमी है, देश के अंदर बैठा दुश्मन है।
ये आग लगाने वाले कौन है वो उनके कपड़ों से ही पता चल जाता है। इसका मतलब ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे।
सवाल ये है कि मुस्लिम धर्म में जो है आप जानते हैं कि 50 औरत रखिए और जो है 1050 बच्चा पैदा कीजिए, ये कोई परंपरा नहीं, ये तो जो है एक जो है जानवरी प्रवृत्ति है।
बीजेपी सांसद प्रवेश वर्मा ने कहा कि हर आतंकी मुस्लिम होता है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक राष्ट्रभक्त पार्टी है, इसलिए मुस्लिमों ने ना तो कभी बीजेपी को वोट दिया और ना ही कभी देगा।
कौन अल्लाह अकबर के नारे लगा के आतंकवादी हमले कराता है?
आतंकवादी कहीं के 4 फीट के होते हैं, बम तो यहाँ बांध के उड़ जाते हैं।
ऐसे भेड़िए हैं मुस्लिम धर्म में।
ये कैंसर है, अगर कैंसर का ट्रीटमेंट करना है तो पहले कैंसर है ये डिक्लेयर करना पड़ेगा।
ये सपोले
fine, I'm declaring Hindutva is cancer. Move on.
आस्तीन के सांप हैं।
Like,
सपोले वो होते हैं जो देश का दूध पीते हैं, आस्तीन के सांप होते हैं और फिर यहीं हमें डसते हैं। उनके ऊपर बुलडोजर ही चलाया जाएगा, उनको दूध नहीं पिलाया जाएगा।
वैसे कि आप जानते हैं दोस्तों, इंडिया में भी कई लोग इंस्पायर्ड थे हिटलर से। एक नाम जो सबसे सामने आता है वो है विनायक दामोदर सावरकर। जैसे नाजिज्म में प्योर जर्मन रेस की बात करी गई है एथनिसिटी के बेसिस पर, ऐसे ही सावरकर ने हिंदुत्व शब्द का इस्तेमाल किया था प्योर इंडियन रेस के बारे में बात करने के लिए एथनिसिटी के बेसिस पर।
हिंदुत्व दोस्तों सिर्फ और सिर्फ हिंदुत्व, हमारा हिंदुत्व, आपका हिंदुत्व।
इनके हिसाब से हिंदुत्व एक पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजी थी जिसमें कि हिंदू, सिख्स, बुद्धिस्ट और जैन्स आते हैं और मुस्लिम्स और क्रिश्चियंस आउटसाइडर्स की तरह हैं।
जैसे देखो हमारे 2 दुश्मन नहीं आने वाले समय में 3 हो गए, सॉरी। एक तो होगा जो देशद्रोही मुसलमान, दूसरा होगा जो हम हिंदुओं को कन्वर्ट करता है ईसाई, तीसरा होगा हमारा ही भाई सेकुलर।
सावरकर की आइडियोलॉजी इतनी क्रूर है कि इन्होंने छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज को भी क्रिटिसाइज किया था कि कैसे उन्होंने अपने दुश्मनों की औरतों को कैप्चर किया और उन्हें रिस्पेक्ट के साथ ट्रीट किया। ये चाहते थे कि रेप को एज ए पॉलिटिकल टूल इस्तेमाल किया जाए।
यूपी के एक महंत हैं जिनका नाम बजरंग मुनि है। उन्होंने एक समुदाय की बेटियों का बलात्कार करने की बात कही है। बाकायदा जीप के ऊपर
Arnab hesitated because his son is named Che. Lol. Yeah.
स्पीकर
No,
लगाकर
like
मस्जिद
Arnab
के
is such
सामने
a...
गाड़ी रोककर यह बात कही है।
I don't want to talk about Arnab. He's like the saddest shit I can talk about. We can talk about right now. It's a sad state of affairs for him.
कटे हुओं से पूछो, सलमा, इन बजरंगियों का कि अगर वो एक हिंदू बालिका को ले जाएंगे तो कम से कम 100 मुस्लिम बालिकाओं को
इंडिया से एक और एग्जाम्पल है गोलवालकर, जिन्होंने ओपनली दर्शाया था कि वो कितना पसंद करते हैं नाजी आइडियोलॉजी को।
अपनी नस्ल और संस्कृति की शुद्धता को संरक्षित रखने के लिए जर्मनी ने यहूदियों जैसी नस्लों को राष्ट्र से मिटाकर पूरी दुनिया को चौंका दिया। नस्ल पर गर्व यहाँ अपने उच्चतम रूप में प्रदर्शित हुआ है।
और महापुरुषों को याद करके यहाँ संकल्प लेकर जाए कि पूरी विश्व को हम आर्य बनाएंगे। भारत में नहीं, विश्व में अनार्य को नहीं रहने देंगे। संपूर्ण विश्व को, सप्तखंड धरातल को आर्य बनाने का संकल्प यही धरती पर हम लेकर जाए।
हम टोपी वालों को भी सीताराम बुलवा देंगे, आपकी न्यूज पर बोल देते हैं। क्यों चिंता कर रहे हो तुम?
अच्छा, और जो मुसलमान राम को पूज्य नहीं मानते भाई, उनके भी पूर्वज तो राम ही है। और अपने जो बाप को नहीं मानता ना भाई, वो किसी का नहीं हो सकता।
साध्वी रितंबरा ने कहा कि 4 बच्चे पैदा कीजिए और इनमें से 2 बच्चे आरएसएस, विश्व हिंदू परिषद और बजरंग दल को समर्पित कर दीजिए।
और जैसा कि डॉक्टर अंबेडकर जी ने कहा था,
जो रिलीजन में भक्ति है वो आत्मा की मुक्ति का मार्ग हो सकती है, लेकिन पॉलिटिक्स में भक्ति या हीरो वर्शिप एक पक्का रास्ता है पतन की तरफ जाने का और आखिरकार तानाशाही के आने का।
कौन जिम्मेवार है? कौन जिम्मेवार है? कौन जिम्मेवार है?
Guys, I think I'm gonna go now. It's been a while, so I think we quite got a nice amount of viewers. I'm gonna keep the thumbnails like this. Jeez. So before I have to go now edit this some. I'm gonna head out. Thank you for coming, guys. For everyone who showed up, thank you for the clips, fucking Sangis. Anyway, see ya. Good night.